Starfield is a total triumph across every single platform it's available. If you manage to get your hands on, to be completely honest, I don't know what the new version of the Xbox is. It the Series X or the Series S, or I know it's not the One anymore, but whatever. You can also get it on PC, okay? Or you can just get it as a part of Game Pass, and that's why the overinflated numbers are there, so it just makes it look like, oh, it's just a big success, and we'll just have to see in about a week or 2 weeks' time how many people are still playing Skyrim in space, because I've watched some people play, man. Like, I've stated somebody who I watched before during the early access period and was bored out of my mind based on, just a basic bitch combat and then just never-ending exploration of barren wastelands that make, Mass Effect 1 exploration of planets to look like a Lewis and Clark expedition. And then Razorfist, shout out Razorfist once again on the past Friday playing stream of it, and I could only watch just a little bit of it. Not because of Razorfist, like his commentary and his back and forth with Taron Gell was very funny, and I would recommend it. I just got so bored of the game because, okay, it's just basic bitch combat that I was bored the fuck to tears with when it came to Fallout 4. And just unappealing space exploration. Like, the art design is, it's kind of alien-esque mixed with the more boring aspects of Star Wars. It's trying to be as intellectual as some of the more highly regarded Star Trek series, and it just ends up being a basic bitch, bottom tier, common denominator tripe. So it'll be interesting to see how much or what legs this game has. I just don't see it lasting all that long. But to say that, it was ever going to flop because my pronouns in the early days during the early access, you'd be out of your fucking mind. Bethesda doesn't even have to release a complete game in order for people to start to flock to it. And especially if it's going to be a part of Microsoft Game Pass that, people get to experience all of the first party releases on, included in their subscription. So yeah, it's absolutely no surprise that 1 million concurrent players on launch day. Just like to see, how steep the fall off is. It was like, earlier, well, actually it would have been in 2021 and 2022 with the new Marvel films that come out and everybody goes, oh god, it's absolute dog shit. But, for the opening weekend, they were making 120, 130, 150 million dollars. And then that next week you had a 60, 70% drop off. But we'll see, man. We'll see what happens with word of mouth on this one. Because the big overarching thing on this one is, the switch from the covert to the overt messaging. That's in all of these AAA games for a long time, man. They've just been plugging along under the scenes with the girl bosses, okay? Certain races being presented as the good people as opposed to the bad people. Different political ideologies being presented as superior as opposed to denigrating others. Now they just decided to go full on hot culture war style, and a lot of people have just had enough. For a long time, they were just trying the fait accompli strategy, but just going bite. But some idiots that are out there just decided, no, we've got the support of everybody on Twitter, so let's just fucking go for it. And what ended up happening, a bigger discussion about the superfluous elements, because like I said, I watched probably about an hour or two, closer to about 2 hours, sped up a little bit. That's why I can't quite tell specifically how much of the stream I ended up watching. But looking at the character creator, which for an RPG, well, it's not even really an RPG if you take a look at the specifics and you want to be hyper autistic about the definitions of this stuff. Things that you can't pick when it comes to your character in Starfield, like your height and your weight and a few more other characteristics. You have all of these presets, but no. Make sure that you got proper pronouns, because that takes priority over important attributes. But remember, guys, it was never there to be a good customization option. It was always there to placate, to just go ahead and try to push the Overton window a little more. But now the people are fighting back. Well, guess who's coming to their defense? Probably the second most detestable class of journalists that are out there. I still put wrestling journalists below games journalists, but they're equally fighting. And this one might end up overtaking them for a small period in time, because you cannot overestimate the ability to go lower for these cretins. Starfield's pronoun selection is one small step for players, one giant leap for big gay fans. Except for when you talk to actual lesbian, gays, and bisexual people. The whole trans part, well, that's just the radical wing. Or even still, what about the trans people that, they're born a woman, they want to transition to become a man. Yeah, the entire point in going through all of that stuff is presenting as a man, as a passable man, and then just using the pronouns, because guess what? Sex is binary, as emphasized by the third letter of that. Lesbian, gay, bisexual. You're attracted to the two sexes. Imagine that. Stop using gender. Okay, that's another way that they managed to just go ahead and covertly co-opt language as well. Well, gender was created by an absolute monster by the name of James Mooney, who I've got a video on the channel about dissecting the monstrous tactics of that hunk of shit. Whatever circle of hell he's in right now isn't deep enough. But yeah, let's see. Bethesda fans have a brand new immersive RPG to add to their libraries in the form of Starfield, promising to give fans an entire universe of thousands of... I'm already bored. Just as other games of Bethesda's library handle the character creation, Starfield starts out with the players can pick and change. Oh, and then change as they go along with character that suits them. That's so fantastic about an RPG where you just set your character and then you can change your attributes. But no, you can't do that. All you got is stupid perks now, which is absolutely fucking retarded. What happened to min-maxing your character? But no, nothing says quite like an immersive sim like being able to change every single immutable characteristic on the fly. Fucking retarded. From their character's body and face can be molded to fit a player's needs. Again, it has no gameplay impact at all, but no, you can change your face on the fly when you spend most of the time in a spacesuit. Okay. And for it to be playing as a specific person that they made up. However, Starfield is unique that it uses its sci-fi setting to its advantage, and everything about the character can be changed. No, it can't. In the game and special facilities, including their pronouns, which is so great for a game that is set in the 24th century. Yeah, 2332. I think was the star date that was set right at the beginning, if I do recall. I know that it's the 24th century. But just think about this for a second. What were we discussing? What was in the popular zeitgeist 10 years ago? Any of this discussion outside of just wondering what the detrimental effects of what allowing mentally ill dudes into women's restrooms, what would that end up doing? Oh no, bro, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, we just need to just let people go. What do you think's gonna end up happening? Pronouns in your video games. Oh, imagine that, right? But it's such a non-issue, guys. All of this pronoun stuff, who cares? It's just one thing. You're just making it up. It's not that big of a deal. Just shut up. If it's not such a big deal, riddle me this question. What if there are mods, which, Bethesda is basically banking on at this point in time for the fourth straight release that they've crapped out for everybody to go ahead and experience? They're just relying on modders to make this, playable and fun. That's what everybody's been saying about. Yeah, it's kind of boring right now, but just wait for modders to get a hold of it, which is just the sign of a great game. Yeah, it's a sandbox. Might as well just fucking, release your next project as, here's Bethesda's mod tools. You guys just fucking go crazy. Make your own game. And hopefully this time we won't try to monetize that. What a fucking disaster that was. That was the one good thing that Bethesda has done in the past 10 years. Try to monetize all of the mods that were online, and then just when everybody decided to go, no, that shit's fucking retarded, then they ended up walking it back. But to just talk about this. Okay, so Nexus Mods. If you don't know what that is basically the hub online in order to find your mods for the game. Okay, your skin packs, your UI improvements, your new areas of the game. Okay, that's where you basically go. That's where you can go download it, and then you can change the game to make it more playable. Bethesda games are legendary for their catalogs of fun mods, from making the dragons and Skyrim into Macho Man Randy Savage, to making the little Fallout guy on your Pip-Boy just, being a titty dancer when you pull it up. But even they have been subverted because this completely and totally blown out of proportion. It's a non-issue, guys. Nexus Mods reportedly banning Starfield mods that are removing pronouns. Remember, guys, it's not that big of an issue. We are just making special exceptions to just make sure that non-issue has to stay in the game. Interesting. Very interesting. A week after early access, Starfield was released globally for all users earlier this week. The initial reception has been largely positive. Not really. You take a look. It's been mixed. I think mixed is actually fair at this point in time, given the fact that a lot of the not an incorrect slip, but not the verbiage that I was necessarily looking for, but the professional class, the journalist class, have handed out quite a few 7s. You would be mistaken for thinking that Margot Robbie was the one being recorded and reviewed. She's mid, get over it. But games journalism is so much different than just simple movie reviews or the way that I perceive the world. Normally if you're grading on a 10-point scale, you would think that 5 is the midpoint. But when it comes to your IGNs, GameSpots, the professional class that are out there, 7 is basically a tolerable game, and then everything else before that is just different shades of shit. It's so stupid. is so stupid. But yeah, there's a lot of, like, what did IGN give it? A 6 or a 7 or something like that? Like, everybody's kind of, it'll be fine. And again, just wait for the mod community to get a hold of it. But now Bethesda is stepping in and going, or I guess in this specific instance, it's going to be Nexus Mods stepping in and go, you can mod things, just not everything. Not the important stuff that's not important, because we just need to go ahead and shift what is and is important depending on the tone and tenor of the conversation being had. However, the game's launch was not bereft of controversies, with one surrounding its inclusion of pronouns. Recent reports from players suggesting that the mods to remove a said mechanic are being banned on Nexus Mods. The option of choosing your own pronouns, which is so fucking dumb, which is available in the character creation selection in Starfield, is a point of contention, given how charged, politically or otherwise, the matter of inclusive pronouns, and see the way, again, that they subvert language. Inclusive pronouns, no, it's reinforcing mental illness, and people's preference have become in recent years a subsection of a subsection of people. The people that actually want to have that, maybe it's overrepresented in gaming. I do understand that to a little degree, but for the regular population that's out there, the normal population, yes, that's the way that it is. They don't give a shit about this. A man uses he, him, a woman uses she, her. I don't know, I could figure that out because women don't matter. No, I'm joking. Sort of. Just when it comes to video games, I guess. It's just not tonally appropriate for a game set so far in the future, all about space exploration, and we're still stuck in modern day problems, which was the gist of Az's big rant. And last time we talked about Starfield was supposed to be a space sim. It's supposed to be an exploration sim, and all you are is just stuck in Southern California politics. Yeah, nothing will drive you out of a game faster than just hearing somebody pull you to the side and say, "Hey, I know that you're going on this big trip, but I just need to tell you that I'm trans." Wonderful. I don't fucking care. In fact, you know what? I don't care so much. I'm turning off the game and doing something better with my life, like sharpening my kitchen knives with my gums. Many of the community, decided that it was reason enough to refund the game. YouTuber Heel vs. Babyface's clip that's went viral as he ranted about the matter. Not really. Again, you just kind of missed all the context, and is a big reason that a lot of people made assholes out of themselves, like the stupid fucking hack man, or act man, as so many people are calling him. Community notes expose so many liars, grifters, and so much misinformation on this platform. It's unreal. He's supposed to be a skeptic, right? Yeah, well, fucking more like septic. Fuck you. And then, you take a look at this. This is false. Nexus Mods is working to delete mods that remove pronouns from Starfield. It's really telling how much manufactured most of the outrage is when it comes to just straight up lies. But, as you can see in the community notes, it's actually true, verifiably so, because somebody called in to ask a question about said mods being removed, which, Nexus Mod announced it would ban pronoun removals, and the creepy avatar people, we won. Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and force your agenda on everybody, but remember, guys, it's such a non-issue. I don't know why you're making such a big deal about it. We reserve the right to host or not host whatever content we want on our own site. We do not want the host mods that remove diversity from a video game. Remember, guys, it's not about fun, playability, or anything like that, or just go ahead and fundamentally changing the game. No. We have a message to push here. That's far more important than improving the game for somebody. If that upsets you enough that you no longer want to use our site, then quite frankly, your presence here will not be missed. I invite you to use your account settings page, delete account feature. Have a great day. Mike, Nexus Mod support. Don't know if this is necessarily verified or not. It just seems, a reason to get off Nexus Mods. There's obviously going to be a mod that comes out there that removes the pronouns. That's going to be something that's going to be posted literally everywhere in some form or fashion. Somebody will end up trying to get it into their game if they want it there so much, and because of all the attention that it's got, it's going to be one of the more popular mods that's out there. I will guarantee that. I'm just wondering at the time when everybody's being so emboldened, and the AAA games industry is just hanging in the balance when it comes to profitability, because who actually knows the budget of Starfield? And given the fact that most of the players are using Game Pass, and there's a lot of people that are using it on Steam. Well, if Steam's got to carry the lion's share of the purchases, well, you got yourself a problem there, Bethesda. Good thing you got that Microsoft bailout, because if you needed to just go ahead and perform on your own laurels, maybe you'd have just a bit of a moment of inflection when it comes to this cultural touchstone moment. It does seem an awful lot like the type of shit that really kicked off these discussions revolving around games and games journalism, and the gamers themselves, the guys who actually play the games, look forward to the stuff, financially support it, coming at odds and being forced to capitulate to the message over playability of a game. It really does seem like not a lot has changed over the past 10 years. I know I'm doing my part when it comes to not playing Starfield. Well, frankly, I played, a couple of games in the past 10 years anyways, because I was just pissed off by all of this stupid inclusion shit with Mass Effect Andromeda, and to think it's only gotten worse since then. Oh my god. All I can tell you, I'm not gonna tell you to boycott anything. I'm just gonna tell you to stick true to your principles, and if you don't want the message forced down your mouth, well, stay away from Starfield. And if you just want to have a big, boring, open box space simulator, play Elite Dangerous. It's a hell of a lot cheaper. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.